welcome. Thank you so much for shining in. Thank you so much for being a part of what might be the greatest movement of God on the behalf of man. Many times, God has to intervene into the affairs of man because we will damage ourselves like a child. I don't know if you've ever seen a child fasten his head in the crib railing, crying, trying to get out, and you wonder how did this ever happen? And we have to do a rescue act. Many times, God have to rescue man because in our best attempt, we make a fool of ourselves, and God has to intervene and rescue us many times. I see more Mito as a rescue mission that God has put in place to rescue mankind. We are in a state of dilemma, but I'm not the one to give you all that information. The good doctor is in the house, Dr. Desmond Samuels. I will give you the more Mito disclaimer. And as I say, welcome, welcome to one, welcome to all, welcome wherever you're shining in from. Please feel free to grab a front row seat, walk with your glass of lemonade or your favorite beverage, relax, have a piece of paper and a pen. You might want to take some note as a good doctor shares. The FDA disclaimer says these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The product discussed is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information is intended for general information purpose only. It is not intended as a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment of disease. As it relates to testimonials, no one was compensated for giving a testimonial. All testimonials are the opinions of those individuals and may not be the result that everyone gets, because some people might get more than what some people get. But these products works 100% of the time for 100% of the people. You are next in line for these blessings. I'm going to get out of the way of greatness quickly by introducing you to Dr. Desmond Samuels. I call him the comprehensive doctor. I've never seen or know of any doctor that covers so many fields of discipline and masters them. So Dr. Desmond Samuels holds a bachelor's degree in psychology. He holds a bachelor's degree in theology. He even has a diploma as an electronic technician. He's an accident and emergency physician, meaning that you will see him in your ER room. He's a massage therapist, and I'm hearing that he's good at it. He's an expert in functional medicine because he believes that plant life gives life also. And he's a mitochondrial expert. You'll find few doctors on the planet that understands mitochondria as well as Dr. Desmond Samuels does. So ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to get out of the way of greatness and to present to some and introduce to others the good doctor himself, Dr. Desmond Samuel. Have you made it to the call, please, my friend and brother?
Yes, sir. I'm right here. I'm right here. Just getting this computer thing going. How are you today?
Hey, man, if I was in a better, I need to have a twin
Hmm.
because I'm really feeling good
Nice,
and
nice.
hopefully I'm looking good too.
Look good, feel good, and be good overall. That is
Yeah,
the
man.
goal of everybody. Everybody should strive towards that.
Why do you
Uh,
mention gold, sir? So that gold, because we mined our first gold today in Jamaica. But I don't want to hold up the call with that. But we are shining bright like a diamond.
which event was that?
That is the discus.
Oh, we got a goal in discuss?
A
Yes.
gold in the discus, man. That one came out of the blue.
Yeah, that guy was doing some stuff at champs and not champs at the national trials and stuff, and he was
Yes.
one to look out for. But also, I was watching a couple of days ago, and I noticed that we have a diver, a guy that was doing really well towards
Yes.
the diving. So
Yeah, man. The Caribbean, you see, Doc, has done so well.
yes.
It's amazing. St. Lucia. You must start calling name now. I can't remember the whole of them. But
Hmm.
quite a few persons have done themselves and their country so proud.
In the
Wow.
yeah, I noticed somebody from I don't know if it was Dominic or one of them in the jumps. I think it was the
Dominica
lock
too,
jump.
yes. Got a
Yes.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
And the
God is good. And
Jamaican
we
too. Yeah. Yeah.
sharing all their successes too. Thanks.
Oh yes. Oh yes. As Bob Marley said, them I got tired to see with face.
Look at that.
Yeah, the officiating and stuff at this Olympics is at the bottom of the barrel, though. They are
Oh
just
boy, I tell you, a
changing
lot
the
to
rules as
criticize.
they go. Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
hey, we are excited about what's happening with us. I am excited about what's happening with this company that we're going to be talking about tonight. And this, there is something new for those on the line here. And I am telling you, I think it was a scripture that talk about a threefold cord that cannot be broken.
Yes.
I think Dr. Bevan has knocked it out the park this time, but we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, we are excited about that. Hey, everybody, welcome to the call. We're happy to have you here, and we're hoping to share some information with you that is going to be life changing. So, Dr. Clive, I'll get back to you in a minute, and then we have some discussion to do at the end of the call, if that is okay with you.
Yes, you want me to say something until I come back? Are you gonna?
No. I mean that I'm going to head into the presentation, and then
Okay,
we'll
great.
get back to you at the end of the call, and then we have a discussion and so on and so forth.
Fine.
All right, folks, welcome. As Dr. Clive said, it's Dr. Desmond Samuels. I work in the emergency room. I enjoy emergency room medicine, but I also like functional medicine. One of the things I like about naturopathic medicine and nutraceutical products is that they are more of a preventative maintenance. It's not regular medicine, it's reactive. We give you a medication to fix what's wrong or to deal with the symptoms of what's wrong. But preventative medicine, folks, it is something that we can use to be proactive instead of being reactive. And as we go through this presentation, we hope to show you some of that. We're going to talk to you tonight about a particular organelle inside of each and every one of our cells. And that organelle is called the mitochondria. As tiny as it is, as microscopic as it is, this mitochondria, I like to refer to it as the mighty mitochondria. In spite of the fact that the cell has its DNA in the nucleus, the mitochondria, which is inside of the cell, also has its own DNA. And what we are learning is that the DNA in the mitochondria actually comes directly from mommy. It comes from the maternal side of your family. It has nothing to do with the paternal side. So, and that also makes it very interesting because one of the things that scientists is finding out about this DNA from the mitochondria is that it is more potent, more durable than the DNA from the nucleus. Now, our researcher, chief researcher and developer, Dr. Bevan Elliott, in his research, he indicates that what affects the health the most is the health of the mitochondria. So in other words, he's saying that you literally cannot be your healthiest unless your mitochondria are at their best. So when the mitochondria is operating at its maximum potential, that is when you are at your healthiest. Now, if the health of the mitochondria can be improved and you have more mitochondria that are bigger, more energetic, your overall health will definitely be improved. So if you get the mitochondria right, then you can watch your body rebuild, restore, rejuvenate, and renews itself as you go forward. So that is basically what that is. So once the mitochondria is right, you don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. But one of the things they tell us is that the number one reason for sickness and diseases is low energy. And so low energy, once low energy sets in, then other stuff are going to start setting in. So if low energy is the chief cause of sicknesses and diseases, and the mitochondria is the source of energy, then it simply means then that something has to be wrong with the mitochondria in order for low energy to set in. So these mitochondria, they're considered to be membrane-bound cell organelles, and they generate most of the chemical energy that is needed to power the cell's biochemical reaction. Now, the chemical energy produced by the mitochondria, they are stored in a small molecule that we call ATP. Now, the human body is made up of approximately 70 trillion cells, and they are powered by the mitochondria. That's what we refer to as the powerhouse of the cell. Now, When we look at the mitochondria, we realize that once you hit the third decade of life, anywhere between 20 and 30, that is when we start having mitochondrial deficit. We start having mitochondrial depletion. We start having mitochondrial damage. Chief culprit for those things happening: water we drink, food we eat, air we breathe, environment we live in because of all those stressful situations, and last but not least, the type of medications that we're taking. A lot of medications that we're taking for sickness and diseases are actually mitochondria killers. Now, how does the mitochondria produce all this energy? It converts fats and carbohydrates into energy. Again, it's called ATP, and that is the cell's energy currency. That is the energy that the cell can use now to convert your glucose and all the other nutrients that gets in the cell. That is the energy that it needs to ensure that all the biochemical energies are taking place properly in your body and not operating erroneously. Now, being the powerhouse of the cell, it is the main site of the ATP production, plays a very vital role in calcium storage. And so when the mitochondria is not working right, that is when calcium storage diseases can set in. And there's a myriad of calcium storage diseases, stuff like osteoporosis. And so we usually find this mostly in females after they have gone through menopause. But if the mitochondria is right, then we can help to prevent that. Imagine that your body, your muscles are looking for calcium in order to carry out their daily task, and they just can't find enough calcium inside of the cells where it is supposed to be. All of a sudden, now they got to go looking for it in the teeth. They got to go start looking for it in the bones. Next thing you know, you have brittle bones. People breaking bones very, very easily because there's not enough calcium in the body. Because trust me, sometimes we're not getting enough as we go in the food that we're eating. And so then these calcium pumps also, they have to be working properly. And so sometimes if they are not working properly, then there will also be a deficit in the amount of calcium that we have in our bodies. All right. Now, it plays another vital role in something that we call apoptosis. You see, the cells in our body are supposed to live for a certain number of days, and then they are replaced by new cells. However, if the mitochondria is not working, you have some of these cells that will fly under the radar, and instead of dying when they're supposed to die and be replaced, they continue to replicate, they continue to develop and divide, and so eventually they end up becoming tumors. Now, these tumors can be either benign or malignant. And so malignant tumor, we know those are the cancerous one. They invade the cells, invade the organ, and they become invasive, and they can metastasize from one organ to the next. And you got stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And a lot of these cancers, when we find them out, they're usually at stage 3 or stage 4 when it's almost too late. But now, the benign tumors, they too can be very, very dangerous because it depends actually on where they are developed. What if they develop in the optic chiasm? That is where the nerves that feed the eyes are. Then they can actually end up compressing those nerves, and you can end up losing vision. You can lose vision totally, or you can lose it partially. Now, when the mitochondria is working right, these kind of stuff don't happen, right? So the mitochondria needs to be right. And it is the goal today to talk to you how to keep the mitochondria right. The other thing that happens when the mitochondria is working up towards its full potential is that detoxification of the liver takes place, detoxification of the kidney, detoxification of the colon also takes place. So, in other words, what we are trying to portray to you right now is that a human being cannot survive without the mitochondria. When it gets really, really depleted down to below like 70 or 80%, then I mean, a myriad of sicknesses and diseases just come from every angle. And so, what we intend to do tonight is to explain to you what happens when the mitochondria is low. Number one, mitochondrial disease. We see these in the pediatric ward. We see them in our young children. They got FTT, failure to thrive. They got ADHD. They got learning disorders. We see them, you check their head circumference and it is in the 10th percentile. And sometimes you check them, they are in the 90th percentile. So they can be on either end of the spectrum. We see them developing all these childhood diseases. And what we're finding out is a lot of them are linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. In a lot of cases, we are seeing cardiovascular problems. We are seeing neurological problems. A lot of persons having strokes, a lot of persons having imbalances, a lot of persons having all kinds of Alzheimer's, dementia, and all of those things. And science is now confirming that a lot of these are related to the mitochondria not operating at its best. Renal failure, gastrointestinal issues, pulmonary stuff like COPD, asthma, emphysema, you name it. All of these stuff, erectile dysfunction, infertility issue, vision problem. All of these are tied into the fact that the mitochondria is not working right. So when the mitochondria is low, when it's damaged, when it's being depleted by medication or whatever else is causing it to do that, this guy, inflammation is going to set in. And now once inflammation sets in, then here comes the cardiovascular. Here comes the cancer problem, whether it be breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer, liver cancer, whatever the cancer is. Once inflammation sets in, these are the stuff that can start happening. Arthritis and joint pain. Any kind of inflammatory issues can start setting in. Allergies, eye disorder, asthma, diabetes, Crohn's and colitis. This is just the name of few of what's going to start coming into the picture once inflammation sets in. Because once inflammation comes, it's not coming by itself. It is going to bring with it oxidative stress. And it's also going to bring free radical damage. So what is a free radical? So when you look at the atoms in our bodies, each atom needs to be in what we call valency, meaning that on the outer band of it, it needs to have an even number of electrons. Sometimes one of these, because of free radical damage, these atoms are probably, they lose one of their electrons. And then their thing now is that they're going to go back and try to find it. Or if they can find it, they go and steal one from another atom close by. And so they keep doing this. And so now all kind of robbery keep going on in our cells because of now. So now when that atom or that cell does not have the extra electron and the valency and the outer band, it now becomes a free radical and it just starts damaging other cells like that. But if the mitochondria is right, what it is going to do, when that particular cell or that particular atom loses valence, it is going to talk to the glutathione and say, hey, glutathione, there is a free radical cell over there. What I need you to do is either to go give it back an electron so it gets back into valency. However, if it's too far gone, I want you to clean it out and get rid of it. Because you know how they say one rotten grape or one rotten apple spoil the whole bunch. Once you have a particular cell that is acting erratic, then it is going to affect it's the neighboring cell and the neighboring cell and the neighboring cell. And next thing you know, what we have a tumor, possibly a cancerous tumor developing right there in those tissues. And that is where the problem lies. So we have to now get to the point where we said, okay, how can we prevent all of this from happening? We do this by ensuring that our mitochondria is right. So one of the things that keeps the mitochondria right, when we get rid of the inflammation, we get rid of the free radical damage, get rid of the oxidative stress, and also get our body to the point where it is now repairing itself from the effects of aging. Take a look at this this blood vessel here. This blood vessel would say represents an artery that is taking oxygenated blood, could be to the brain or it could be to the heart, right? So when this is happening, it could be the left ascending or descending artery that feeds the left ventricle of the heart. And that is one of the major culprit of heart attacks, because it seems like these plaques find a way to develop right where it splits, or we call it where it bifurcates. And once these plaques develop there, they can actually occlude the entire vessel. So that is going to prevent oxygenated blood from going to those heart muscles. And once they are not getting the oxygenated blood that they require, those heart muscles, those cells are going to die. And so that is what we call a myocardial infarction or a heart attack. Let's say now that these vessels are, if this is a vessel that is taking oxygenated blood to the brain, then now we can have either a hemorrhagic or an ischemic stroke. And these are the kind of strokes that we can have in the brain. And so that is how we get stroke, when a blood vessel, when it is totally occluded or when it is blocked up and end up getting burst. Now, there's another thing I would like to talk to you about in the brain, and it's a part of the brain. It's a network of blood vessels, and we refer to them as the circle of Willis. Now, there is a condition that we call a Berry aneurysm. Now, when your blood pressure is too high, what happened is that right where the blood vessels bifurcate, right where they divide and go into different directions, one of the things that happens there is that when the blood pressure is too high, the force of the blood that hits there causes the blood vessel to become weak, and it have what we call, like, like when a tire have a big head. And so when it becomes weak, the vessel, it develop an aneurysm. It looks like a berry. Now, hear me and listen to me clearly. This berry aneurysm now, when that blood vessel eventually breaks, as they tend to do sometimes, you are going to have the worst headache you ever feel in your life. But guess what? The only good thing about that headache is going to be short-lived. That is the headache we call the thunderclap headache. The pain is so excruciating, you die within seconds, or go into a total coma within seconds of how excruciating that pain is. If you're lying in the doctor's office on the desk or on the gurney, he can't even save you at that time. So we are saying prevent these things from happening by monitoring and watching your blood pressure. Because what they see about blood pressure, it is the silent killer. So, how do we prevent it? Now that I've given you all the bad news, let's get to the good news. How do we prevent or repair mitochondrial damage? Now, once the mitochondria is right, it is also going to help to bring down the blood pressure. It's also going to help to bring down other stuff, as we will look at later on as we go. Now, we have a company that we represent and that we are associated and affiliated with, and the company is called More Mito, which is short for More Mitochondria. And there are 3 products or 4 products that they have going right now. Product number 1 is called the Ultra Micro Restore. Now, this Restore works from the inside out. It's our liquid formula, and it grows mitochondria, helps them to increase cellular energy and to provide your body with the nutritional resources to restore, regenerate, and repair itself physically and emotionally. And then we have a topical gel. Now, this one, we call it Ultra Micro Rejuvenate. Now, the Rejuvenate is a topical gel and it works from the outside in. It works on areas of specific concern. It is highly recommended for anything that affects your hair, your scalp, your skin, any place on your body in an unwanted way. It also penetrates deep to affect tendons, ligaments, muscles, and joints that may be experiencing discomfort, mobility issue, and lack of feeling or poor circulation. Can you imagine? There is a topical gel that is going to help you to, if you have tendon issues, ligament issue, muscle and joint issue, any part of your body, that is causing you discomfort, mobility issue, or lack of feeling, or even poor circulation, we are saying, telling you that this Ultra Mito Rejuvenate is good for that. We also have what we call a pet, um, a pet, a pet product, and that is for your pets. The pet product basically is similar to the Restore. The only difference is that some of the ingredients that would be aggravating to the pet has been taken out of it. So that makes it more easy on the stomach of the pet, so they don't have that problem. But the Restore and the Rejuvenate. And then our chief, I haven't even had time to put that slide up here yet, but it is there. And what they are saying to us is that our chief researcher, Dr. Bevan Elliott, has knocked it off the park again, because there is a third product. It's a capsule. But the thing about this capsule, it is a water soluble capsule. And this one now is also designed to really work from the inside out. Remember that your body is what, 70 to 80% water. So the good thing about that now, being water soluble, it's going to be easily absorbed into your cells, and being easily absorbed into your cells, it's going to help to rebuild, restore, and as they name this product, it is going to help your cells to renew themselves. So that this is something that is extremely important for folks who are looking for an extra boost for what they're doing. So with these three products coming together, now it's a triple threat. So when we think about it now, we get this new product. It is available. We're going to talk to you about it a little more on the screen in the presentation. But based on the testimonials that we are hearing, listen me folks, persons are talking about experiencing results within 30 minutes of taking this capsule. So now, based on what it is, because it's being water soluble, it is one of the reasons why it is working so quickly. So the Rejuvenate comes in a jar like this. The Restore comes here, Restore 3.0. And basically this Restore 3.0, again, flagship product, works from the inside out, and you take it sublingually. So the Rejuvenate and the Restore, those two, basically what we know about them is that they use natural ingredients that are amplified and driven deep into the cells and into the mitochondria using the proprietary XDS technology system. Now, so let's talk about the XDS system. This XDS system then, basically it works like this. It is such a potent technology that is going to take the ingredients directly into the cell. It's going to go through the lipid bilayer of the cell, gets into the cytoplasm, deliver some of the ingredients where they need to be delivered, because they do have different areas that they work on. And then now, for the ones that need to go into the mitochondria, they are going to go through the lipid bilayer of the mitochondria and deliver their ingredients to the DNA and the nucleus of the mitochondria right there. So now what happens when the mitochondria gets these ingredients? It get renewed, it get repowered, it is all powered up again. Imagine the mitochondria coming back and operating at the level that it used to operate when you were a teenager or even 15, 20 years ago. Things are happening fast, things are happening quick. Your memory is getting sharp again. You can climb up the steps, you can do a lot of stuff. You're finding out that things are much easier to do now than they were a few years or months ago. So basically, so this is what the XDS technology does. It is the delivery system that took Dr. Bevan Elliott over 9 years to perfect. And then it's been 3 years in delivery, and persons are now giving rave reviews. So that is how the XDS system works. So the Restore, then again, it is our it is an adaptogenic formula, a flagship product, and it's designed to promote and stimulate free natural energy from the mitochondria that can outlast your longest day. So that's where you want to get the energy from. You want to get the energy from your mitochondria because the mitochondria is the source of your energy for each cell. It enhances the brain's ability with the vision, the clarity, and the focus to meet your everyday challenges. It's a mood enhancer and it's a chronic stress reducer. It allows folks or on it to get deeper and more restorative sleep. It's a cellular detoxifier. So basically, it's detoxifying the cell. We spoke about that earlier. Detoxify the liver cell, detoxify the kidney cell, detoxify the colon. It's just detoxifying cells. The other thing also is that it allows the glutathione to become a metal and a cholesterol chelator. And this is where it's going to go in and remove those things out of your cell. Heavy metals like the mercury, the heavy metals like the lead, and all of that kind of stuff. So that is what's happening there. Now, it enhances the immune system. It has anti-parasitic and anti-pathogenic support. It gives body-wide support for your major organ system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, urinary system, reproductive system, all of the body system. It gives really good enhancement too. Now, this is probably the most important line in this entire presentation, which says now that it enhances the body's ability to manage itself and to maintain homeostasis. Folks, we are not telling you that these products are going to kill you. We are not telling you that these products have the power to do that. What we are promoting is that these products, when they get inside of your body, it gets the body back into equilibrium. It gets the body back into a state of balance, of homeostasis. And by doing so, now the body being balanced, being in homeostasis, it now going to start repairing itself. So it prioritizes what needs to be repaired now, what can wait a little bit later, and so on and so forth. That is why some folks are seeing results quicker than others. Why you, for example, may be taking this technology, you may be taking it for a particular reason. However, for some reason, you're not getting any results there. But guess what? Other areas are being fixed without even you possibly knowing what's going on. But if you were to take a good look and see what's going on in other areas of your body, you'll realize that the body is doing something. But I have a theory. Now, the Restore here, because it's oil-based. So because it is oil-based, it is fat or lipid soluble. So remember now, the body is like 60 to 70% water. So the lipid soluble stuff are going to get taken care of more easily by the Restore. Now, the Renew is water soluble. Do you see where I'm going with this? The new Renew that's coming on the market, and the reason people are getting so much rave reviews and experiment and results from it is that because it is water soluble, folks are getting good results because it is moving quicker across some of the membranes that are hydrophilic, means that they love water, and this is getting in. So now we have the Restore dealing with the fat soluble part of the body. Now we have the Renew dealing with the water soluble part of the body. Folks, this is a triple threat, and I think we're in for some good results going forward. Now, let's talk about documented benefits of olive oil along with the other, the olive leaf and the black seed oil. Talk about results from that. Folks, these are documented results. Excessive fatigue relief, healthy blood sugar support, so to regulate the blood sugar. So if it's too low, it brings it up. If it's too high, it brings it down. Blood pressure, same thing. heart and cardiovascular support, general major organ support, weight loss, healthy weight loss. Imagine that. Your body, you're dealing with the mitochondria, and you're able to get the mitochondria working properly. What is that going to do for your metabolism? Your metabolism now is going to speed up. And now you're going to start burning fats and all of them kind of stuff. So now you are going to be looking at healthy weight loss, not with a lot of saggy skin and all of that kind of stuff. We talk about healthy hair, youthful skin, anti-parasitic, anti-pathogenic, cholesterol improvement, and immune support. These are documented benefits of the ingredients that are in this product that we're talking about. Now, persons who are going to experience some real good results are those experiencing extreme energy deficit, especially from the effects of medication. Remember that I told you that some medication are actually mitochondria killers. A lot of the medication that targets viruses are actually mitochondria killer. Like for those, the virus that attack the AIDS virus. Not only do they do that, but they actually end up doing some serious damage to your mitochondria. So persons who are on medication for a long term or a long period of time are now basically recognizing and realizing that they are having a lot of issues with weakness, with tiredness, with lethargy, because the mitochondria is being affected by medication. Now let's talk about athletes who are thriving for extreme performances. They too are finding out that they get great benefits from this. Persons who have occupations that require problem solving ability, yes, it really, really works well, because one of the things that is happening, it helps you to stay focused, gets rid of brain fog. Imagine so many people are depressed, so many people are going through all kind of mental issues. This is actually helping them. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying since they've been taking these products that we have here, situations that would normally makes them upset, makes them mad, get them angry, and they know the situation should have made them angry, they finding out that they almost having to force themselves to be angry about it. So folks, it helps with mood. It helps to clear you up. It get rid of the brain fog, and it helps to clear up your mood. So yes, it's working for other stuff. Working moms and dad, listen what we're saying. Based on this information that you have heard so far, try Restore today and just launch a rescue mission for your cells. How do you take it? Now the Restore comes in a liquid form, and then it comes with an applicator. The goal is, or the instruction is, that you take 4 milliliters per day. But when you first get it, we want you to double up or even triple. Take 8, take 12. It's not going to do you any harm. So basically, what you're going to find out is that when you take it like that, your body gets a boost. The mitochondria say thank you. Now they get the energy. They are re-energized as they want to. It may take them a couple of days or so to really start seeing the energy boost. But then once you start seeing that, then everything else now start working right. So now that the mitochondria, the energy source, the battery of the cell is working right, the other organelles in the cell are going to start working right, and stuff are going to start getting better. Now, how you take this thing? With the applicator, it has 4 lines on it. The top line, that is where 1 milliliter is. So what I want you to do is to sit back in a chair or something, and lean your head back about 30 degrees and put the applicator directly under your tongue. Leave it there for about 90 seconds. Somebody told me that they leave it for a good 2.5 minutes to ensure that everything gets it. So you're going to leave it there for a minimum of 90 seconds, and then you allow the Restore to be absorbed deep into the bloodstream. And that is how you want to take it. Now, do not put 2 milliliters at one time under your tongue. You put 1 milliliter, you give it the 90 seconds to 2 minutes, then you put the second one, then you put the third one if you so choose to take 4 or whatever. But always ensure that you only put one at a time and allow it to be absorbed properly. You put more than one, then your salivary gland is going to start producing saliva, and now it's going to start making it more difficult for it to be absorbed sublingually. So you just want to do it like that and allow it to go right into your bloodstream, be taken right to the the lipid bilayer of the cell, pass through the lipid bilayer of that cell, gets into the cytoplasm, and then passing through the lipid bilayer of the mitochondria, gets into the mitochondria, deliver what needs to be delivered there by the XPS technology, and so on and so forth. And you're going to start seeing great results. Now, what should you expect? How quickly does it work? Well, some folks talk about same day results within hours, within a half an hour. Most people report benefits within days or weeks. In a lot of cases, signs that the body is detoxifying is going to show up. What are those signs? You might get a slight headache for 2 or 3 days. Why? Because toxins are being driven out of your body. You might find things like you're a little bit tired, a little bit more lethargic and sleepy. Why? Again, the toxins are being driven out of your body. The other sign that you're going to find that things are happening is that you are going to find out that you probably weren't going to the toilet more than 4 or 5 times a week. All of a sudden, you're going to the toilet 4 or 5 times a day because your colon is being detoxified. Now, the advice when you are taking this product technology into your body is that you are going to want to up your water intake. And the reason I'm saying that is when this detoxification is going on and stuff is happening, you want to ensure that you are hydrated because now we are pulling out toxins. You're going to you don't want to have constipation. You want to have that poo flowing nice and smooth because now things are beginning to happen and we are beginning to getting out to the place where you need to be with your colon now being cleansed and all of that. All right. Now, persons who are on medication for a long, long time, persons who are being on this chronic medication for years, 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. Don't just expect things to just flip like you're flipping a switch. Be patient. Give yourself some time, but keep taking the technology. Keep taking this into your body to help to boost it. Eventually, your body is gonna start producing again. For those of you who are diabetic, you're probably gonna start finding out that the carbohydrate is now start becoming the glucose. When it becomes glucose, it start getting taken back into the cell where it belongs, so that it can start providing energy like it used to provide. Next thing you know, you are being weaned off your diabetic medication. We have a lot of testimonials for that. Persons who are actually on kidney dialysis, we have testimonials where after about 3 months, they start going 3 days a week and start going one time for the week. Not only that, they also start finding out that for 9 years, they never peed from their penis. They're always peeing in that bag. All of a sudden, they start peeing from their penis again because stuff happens. All right. But the conventional wisdom say for most nutraceutical products to have a fair shot, you need to give them at least a year. I say you need to give it the time that it needs for the technology to reverse what needs to be reversed, fix what needs to be fixed, and get your body back into equilibrium so that your body can start repairing itself from the inside out. So these are some of the, not some, these are all of the 44 ingredients that are in this technology. And so what I'd like you to do, take a picture of it, go to Dr. Google, and then you can Google some of them to see how efficacious some of these things are. Anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, they are there and they help with cardiovascular and heart issues. There are things there that helps with libido problem, things in there that help with mood disorders, things in there that helps you to stay focused and all of that. So there's a lot of good stuff in there in these technology. And so they are designed in the right proportion so that they can get across this lipid bilayer, get into your body, and start doing what needs to be done in order for your body to maintain homeostasis. The Rejuvenate then is great for anything that causes you to itch, to scratch, to break out, or to irritate. So, any kind of joint pain, any kind of discomfort, any random bumps and breakouts, any fine lines and wrinkles, any sunburn or sun damage, even if being over a decade old, we're saying that this Rejuvenate is awesome and great for it. So, any insect bite, dandruff, or other style issues like fungus and all of that, yes, it helps with that as well. Persons are using it as a natural deodorant. Some persons are actually even going ahead and using it for to brush their teeth and so on. So there's a lot of folks are experimenting and doing great stuff with it. Other thing is that for foot care, persons who are using it for foot care and they're using it to get rid of a diabetic pain from diabetic neuropathy. They're using it to get rid of pain from other nerve issues in their fingers, any kind of tingling in their fingers, in their toes, any kind of muscle problems, and so on and so forth. They're using it to do that. So, folks, yes, it does work. Now, what is it that you are looking for? Do you want fresher, younger looking skin? It works. Do you want a natural alternative to medication for discomfort? It works. Do you want to sharpen your vision and get quick relief for eye strain? Yes, it works. If you want to pursue a vigorous athletic workout, then with greater recovery time, it does that. If you just want to be as healthy as you can possibly be with less emotional stress and physical discomfort, just try Rejuvenate. Now, how do you take it? Well, we suggest that you order both products together, Restore and Rejuvenate. And it is also our recommendation that when you get it, you take a milliliter, which works out to about a teaspoon, of the Restore and you put it in the jar with the Rejuvenate. Stir it up, get it together, and then you apply it into and around the affected area. Now, you reapply multiple times a day as needed. Continue to use even after the discomfort is gone for a more complete recovery. Sure, for a more complete recovery. Rejuvenate, now you say, I'm saying that you can use it topically or in combination with the Ultra Mito Restore. Now, for some issues, you're going to see results within minutes. Other issues, including skin abnormalities like moles and warts and skin tags, you are going to see results over time. Because the more difficult the situation, the harder it's going to have to work. But eventually, at the end of the day, Restore wins. So, if you have complex issues and situations, again, involving medication, supplements, and so on and so forth, you're just going to have to give yourself some more time. Conventional wisdom say 3 months. I say use it until it helps the body to fix the problem. Here are the 22 ingredients that are in the Rejuvenate. Call it Rejuvenate 2.0. Again, you can go check them out, see what it is that they do. So many of these also have anti-inflammatory properties, anti-cancer, anti-high blood pressure, anti-diabetic. They have these kind of it. They have these kind of stuff inside of them, and they work very well. So we talk about cause and effect. What is the cause of breakdown? The cause of breakdown is low energy. What is the energy source of the body? The energy source of the body is the mitochondria. Some organs have thousands, some have hundreds, some have tens. But each organ has the amount of mitochondria that it needs, depending on how much effort, how much energy it needs to be its best. So basically, what you're looking at here is that if the mitochondria is in deficit or if it's damaged or in defect, then comes inflammation, oxidative stress, and free radical damages. Then now comes the diseases and the chronic pain and the chronic illnesses and all of that. So what we are promoting tonight is this company that has developed these products that are going to give the mitochondria the energy that it has lost, fix whatever mitochondria needs to be fixed, so that now it can re-energize the cell, which in turn gonna re-energize the tissue, which in turn gonna re-energize the organ, gonna re-energize the system, which in overall gonna re-energize the entire body, so that what you are going to be looking at is now that there's going to be a reversal of the effects of inflammation, reversal of the effects of free radical damage, reversal of the effects of chronic pain, chronic diseases. And so now we get rid of the pain. We help the body to get rid of the pain and the suffering. And that is where we're at. That is what we are promoting to you today. Now, you're probably thinking, how do I get started? How do I get this technology? What you want to do is the person that told you about this call tonight, you want to get back to them and they are going to give you their replicated website. Now, with their replicated website, you are going to go ahead and sign up for free. And then now, as a referring customer, the sign up is free. There's no charge to sign up. And then once you do that, then now you can start, you are going to be able to start getting your stuff. Let me just stop sharing here for a minute. I am going to show you something that you are going to need to have. Give me 1 second. I close this by mistake. So basically, what happened is that I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. Bear with me for 30 seconds. All right, let me go back here. Let me go back to share. All right, so basically what's going to happen is that the person that invites you to the call, they have a replicated website that looks like this one right here. Once they send it to you, you are going to click on it and then you are going to sign up as a referring customer. Once you sign up as a referring customer, then now when you get ready to purchase your product, you go here to where it says shop more Mito. Then you click on, if you want to buy pet product, you click here. But if you want to buy products for yourself, you click on people health products. Click on that. And then you'll see a picture of our chief developer. This is it right here. And then you scroll down, a lot of stuff there, and you're going to go to the screen that says buy now. When you get to that screen that says buy now, listen, you got to look at this part very carefully. It says buy bundles and get free or discounted products. Each of the standard bundle is a $200 value that you only pay $150 for. So we have different bundles. You can buy these products individually, but you can buy them in bundle, which is what we suggest because you get good savings. So let's say you want the restore and the rejuvenate. You want the restore and the rejuvenate, you are going to say, I want to get bundle number 1. So what is bundle number 1? Bundle number 1 basically is that you're going to get 2 rejuvenate and 1 restore. You're going to get 2 rejuvenate and 1 restore, and the cost of that is basically $160. So you get like a $60 saving right there. All right. So that is if you want to get the bundle number 1. If you want to market it and do some stuff with it, you get bundle number 2. Because what bundle number 2 does, it gives you the 1 restore, it gives you the jar of rejuvenate. Let me just scroll down here a little bit. It gives you the jar of rejuvenate, but then it gives you 12 small jars of rejuvenate. And persons have been using these to give to their friends, their relatives. They're giving them to people who they know who are in distress as samples. And so when they use them as samples, then they can become either their customers or a part of the team. Now, again, if you want to order for pets, you'll look at bundle number 4, that you can get 1 restore, 1 rejuvenate, and 1 pet life if you have animals that you want to also help out with this thing. Now, we have this new product. Remember I talked about it, the Renew. It's called the Brain and the Body. This is This is just the thing that puts the icing on the cake. So if you look at the brain and body here, you get one restore, one rejuvenate, and one brain and body. The brain and body, again, is a capsule. It's water soluble, and people are experiencing results in less than half an hour. All right. So if you notice, they're all, I mean, the company has set it out so strategically that you can actually, so you just go on, it can be your own website, you just peruse through it, do your purchase, and you can see other stuff there. Now we have this, what is called the super bundle. So this is where you get two restore and one rejuvenate. But here's the deal I like with that. I believe that it is important and folks should, when you're first starting, instead of taking, don't be stingy and don't be trying to do your thing and said, I'm trying to stretch it out and this and this and that. The folks who actually go hard, the folks who actually are intentional and they're doing their thing, they are the ones that are getting the best results. So I would purchase this one. And the first bottle of Restore, I would actually go hard with it 4 or 5 times per day. And so after that, then I would use the second bottle as my maintenance, where I go with the 4 milliliters per day. So this is how I would recommend that you do it, because you have to be intentional about this thing and about what you're doing. Don't be bothering with the foolishness about I have to stretch it, I don't this, I don't that. I want you to be very much intentional about it and go extremely hard, especially. And now with the third one, as Dr. Clive always talk about the three wise men, the three wise product, with the third one being added to the mix, I am just waiting for the first month to pass to see folks are going to start giving some crazy testimony. So that's it from me for now. Back to Dr. Campbell.
Wow, wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard a very thorough presentation on the More Mitre products. I believe that most of the questions that you would have asked if you're a first time on the call, that you may consider that the questions may have been answered. But should you have additional questions for the doctor, we are going to invite soon Lady Marva Lindsay to come and facilitate that session in which you're going to raise your digital hand, or you can type something in the chat room to ask the doctor. But Sir Desmond, Dr. Samuels, we want to thank you for giving a very comprehensive presentation. You tell us about the company, you tell us about the product, you tell us about the mitochondria, you tell us about the health challenges that we have as modern men, you tell us how we can get the product, you tell us how we can get them by the most cost-efficient way. You encourage us to establish our own free website, because you can go there. The benefits of it is that you can go on the website, you can read information about the company, about the product. You can listen to archives of testimonials as it relates to calls from the corporate. And you hear some testimonies that make you say, wow, wow, wow. It seems as if Jesus has returned to touch people in these ways. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no ordinary company. These are no ordinary products. And it's for people like you who are suffering with things for how long? Too long. You have spent all your money and you believe that you have not gotten justice because you're still in pain. The discomfort is still there. And you're going to doctor so often. You are overly doctored, you are overly medicated, overly fed, malnourished, and we are sick. And if you ever wanted something to help, you are at the right place at the right time. And always say to you, do the right thing. Go on, establish your own website. First, we invite you to the call, send you their link, get the website, and you begin to peruse it, go through it. And it might be the first time you have ever gotten a website, especially of this magnitude, very efficient, very proficient, and you can send it to other folks. And one of the good things about referring it to people is that you get discount on future purchases. So as reasonable as the prices are already, the company is prepared to compensate you for being kind to mankind, because we're in a race to rescue the human race. So in essence, that is what is happening. So we have 3 founders. We have Mr. Roger Hill. He is our CEO. Brilliant, brilliant gentleman. Worked for the NASA space program before Pentagon says you need to come and work for the entire country. He's always the brightest guy in the room, a mathematical genius. He analyzes things like nobody else does. He worked for the government of the United States at the Pentagon for 20 odd years. And then he teamed up with the great researcher, formulator Dr. Bevan Elliott, because Dr. Elliott, they thought, God help us. What if we can make a product to help people to die of old age and not from disease? You say, let's change what is being placed on people's death certificate. Cause of death, HIV/AIDS. Cause of death, diabetes. Cause of death, cancer. Oh my God, cause of death, diabetes. Cause of death, Alzheimer's. Cause of death, and you know many things like. So instead of having those things on your death certificate, how about converting all that drama, trauma, and dilemma? Here it is, old age. How did this person die? Old age, 99.9, 101.2. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the goal and the mission of this company is simply amazing. That is why we say only God alone could put it in the heart of the research and developer, Dr. Bevan Elliott, and we have Roger Hill along with Mr. Dale Bonet as our president. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are at a good company, and your better life awaits you. So without delaying much further, we're going to ask Lady Marvel, will you be so kind as to come to the microphone? Open it, please, and to facilitate this process of help directing persons who may have a question and a clarification or a comment or a testimony and to share so that we might allow for this process to go forward. Lady Marvel, are you on, please?
Yes, sir, I am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Clive. Anyone wondering why Dr. Clive is smiling so much? Because he's so happy. Oh my God. Joy, joy, joy.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to speak to the doctor directly, you may raise your digital hand by pressing the reaction button, and it will give you that option to raise your hand. Or you can write into the chat. But when you have a little conversation, when you get more out of it. So it's up to you. Did I turn on the hand? Can anybody open their mic? Maybe I didn't open it yet. Can anybody raise their hand? Anybody? Okay, so let me get into the back here. I'm so sorry. Okay, how was that now? Can anybody raise their hand now? Help me out, folks. Anybody open their microphone? I mean, sorry. Clive, can you see if anybody's mic is open?
Oh, I need to go on there and change from this to this.
Does it look like it was already open?
Mine was open. I'm trying to
But
open.
yours will be there. Okay, so let me do something here.
Still closed.
Can anybody open their mic, please?
Yes, it's open.
Okay.
Yes, it can be
Okay.
open. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Because I'm saying it's open. Why, it was open. Thank you. Already, Patrice, is that a real raised hand? I'll take it.
No, it's not.
Thought I could have gotten you like, Linda, are you, your mic is open? Did you want to say something? Linda?
Well, this is
Lady
Lady B.
B?
I want to say something. So nobody
Lady
wants.
B? Lady
Lady
B?
B.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Go ahead, please.
Everybody. Welcome, 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 More Mito family. Wow. You said Clive is smiling, and Clive, I just want to give you the biggest compliment because you look, when did we start? I actually started taking this product in March. It'll be 5 months tomorrow on the 8th, and you look so much better.
Yes, he does.
You look
Thank
so
you.
much better. I mean, your skin, you just look like you're glowing.
Yes.
You are glowing, and that makes me so happy. That makes my heart you make my heart smile. So I just want to say as I said before, I actually started taking the product. Well, I was introduced to the technology March. Well, it was the beginning of March. I started taking the product March the 8th, and my health has totally changed since I started taking it. It will be tomorrow will be a year that I was admitted into the hospital with pneumonia with a collapsed lung.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I'm doing so much better. Sunday, I actually went to the grocery store. I live in Vegas, and the heat, I mean, it's crazy out here. Yet Sunday, it was when I came back from the store, it was 100 and over 112 or 13 degrees. And I had, a car full of groceries because I don't like running back and forth. And I think I live upstairs. I think I had at least went back and forth to the car at least 6 or 7 times and did not get out of breath in all that heat.
Wow.
And I have asthma. Well, I don't claim that, but I was diagnosed with asthma years ago, and that's one of the reasons why that I had some issues because I had COVID so many times. I think I had COVID maybe 4 times in the last 2 or 3 years, pneumonia a couple times, then RSV with my grandchildren. And then my lungs had just taken a beating. It just couldn't take anymore. And so last August, my right lung collapsed. And praise God for this product, because I know that if it hadn't been for this product, then I wouldn't be doing as well as I'm doing right now. I'm breathing so much better. Sometimes I even forget to take my asthma my inhaler in the mornings, and I think about it, and I probably wouldn't have, maybe I just don't even have to take it, but I get nervous. I think I get a panic attack if the fact is of thinking about not being able to breathe, so but I am so excited about this product. My skin is better. The darkness up under my eyes are doing better. I can't say enough about the product. Every day I seem like I see something different, that because our bodies don't deteriorate overnight, so it's impossible for them to rejuvenate overnight. So I'm just, anybody on this call for the first time and you haven't tried the product, I say, try the product. Try the technique, because it's a technology actually. And I'm really excited about the fact that we got a new product, a new form of the technology. I'm just now hearing about that. I've been, kind of out of I hadn't been on a lot of calls and didn't even know that we had this new. So I want to say, Dr. Samuel, your presentation is truly on point. So much information. I learned so much today, just listen to the presentation, so much more information. So you're doing a great job, you and Clive are our team, and I'm so excited for and congratulations to the people that have been hitting ranks. Congratulations, you guys are doing a great job. I'm just so excited for you, and thank you so much for allowing me to share.
You are welcome, and thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you. That's my upline, ladies and gentlemen. Lady V, thank you, Lady V, for calling me and telling me about this technology.
I thank her too, because you're my upline.
Hey, look at that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I forgot to say thank you again for saying yes, because you are changing so many lives.
Yes.
Just for your one yes makes a difference.
Yes.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Lady V. You see, I was trying to recruit her at one time, I don't know who she was. That's so amazing. Cynthia March, please go ahead and open your microphone.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Okay, I've just taken the product for, well, my second order is on the way.
Okay, good.
So, had I thought about it well enough, I probably would have used the the option of the 2 Restore, because I thought I really do think my body needed that the extra boost. So I tried to do that. I really did that, really. And for the rest of it now, I was afraid to run out of it. So I did it also every day, but maybe not, just trying to let it last until the next one. So mine is coming tomorrow or the day before, the day after. But I didn't know about the new product though. The Renew, is that called the Renew?
Yes, please.
Yes. Could you, I probably got on a little late. Could you say something more about the Renew? Anybody who could help me out to explain about the Renew?
Dr. Summers did his best in explaining that it's a new product, Doc. I don't know if you want to shine in and say as much as you find it possible to say.
Okay, so what I've discovered about the Renew is that the Restore is fat soluble. The Renew is water soluble. Now our body is, as we say, 60 to 70% water. So when we take the Restore, the fat soluble stuff is dealt with efficaciously and in a quick manner. But now what is happening now with the Renew is that the water soluble issues are now gonna start getting the same kind of attention. And so persons who have actually started taking the Renew, it just came out not even a week, but there's so many great information and there's so many great testimonials already. Persons who could make a fist within a half an hour, not even recognizing that, hey, I couldn't make this fist a couple of days ago. So this one is in the form of a capsule, and you're recommended to take 2 per day. So it's the same great technology. Difference is that this one is water soluble, and people are getting great response already.
Okay, thank you so much, because I'm trying to get, I'm looking forward to getting results for what I term poor circulation. So it's like a swollen ankles, and then now it has some discoloration. So
right.
I'm looking forward to.
Are you diabetic?
No.
No, it's just a poor circulation.
And yet still I've had swollen ankles from I've been in my 20s actually. And when they did a number of tests in Jamaica and said, well, some Caribbean women are like that. That's all I could get into it.
Don't accept that.
Yeah, that is as much as the doctor said, because
all right. So a couple of things that you might need to do. Right. So no kidney issues, no heart failure issues. So
yes.
All right. So what I'm figuring is that the pumps that are supposed to be in your veins, they are probably compromised. And what I am learning from this product is that they can, because when the heart pumps the blood and it goes to the arteries and go to the tissues and do what they're supposed to do, then it gets into the veins now to be taken back to the inferior and superior vena cava, where they now take that blood back to your heart. But sometimes the valves in the veins, they get compromised. And so when the blood goes up through them, instead of them closing, sometimes they remain open, and that's how we get the varicose veins and all of that kind of stuff. So now with all of this discoloration and things going on, yes, we do understand that it's a circulatory issue. So these valves, these pumps, we want to get them back re-energized. But in your situation, like we said, we don't want you to be stingy with the technology, because we need to get the mitochondria in your feet. We need to get the mitochondria back to optimal, so it starts doing what it's supposed to. All right.
So would you recommend then the Restore plus the Renew, and taking both at the same time?
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
Okay,
but it sounds like, are you using the Rejuvenate now on your feet?
Yes.
Yeah, man. How many times a day?
Oh, I do it twice.
Nah, you need to do more.
Mm.
Okay, maybe
About
4
4.
times or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And then what I want you to do just before bed, I want you to put it on them. I know the temperature may not be right and it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you do the foot bottom and do the part where you see the discoloration and you put on a socks and even try that for a week. Sleep in socks for a week.
Right, okay. And also for sunburn.
Yeah, man. See, so you have a bunch of conditions that require more than the regular 2 per day. You need to be intentional about it and aggressive because these conditions, that's what they are. So you need to just do that.
Okay, so aggressive restore would be about like what?
About 4 times. The restore about the same. Okay, how do you take it?
I take the 4 as the
Oh,
maintenance now, but before that I doubled it.
okay.
I
Like
doubled it for a week. But
you
if
and you do it sublingual.
yes, yes.
Now, how many milliliters you put under your tongue at a time?
Just one at a time, and then but I repeat it till I get the 4.
Oh, okay. And when you swallow, you don't taste the black seed, do you?
No, I keep it in. Maybe I keep it in longer than most people. I don't know.
That's awesome. No, you're doing it the right thing. But you want to do so. I would do about 8 to 10 milliliters per day to really give them a boost, give it a jolt. Because your mitochondria, based on from in your 20s, have been in deficit for a while. So now we need to get them out of deficit and get them into a good spot.
Okay, so my one shipment won't last for the month. I have to just know that.
Exactly. And just do what you
What?
need to do, and 'cause it's about your health. And when if you don't fix it and you get, let's just be real, you're dead and gone and you leave life insurance and all kind of stuff for other people to enjoy. So make you enjoy yourself.
You're right. You're definitely right.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Cynthia. Those are great questions. Man
You're
of
welcome. You're
purpose.
welcome.
Thank you, dear. Man of purpose, you may open your microphone and thank you so much.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is two questions for the doctor. Which one of the products would you use for MS? And another question is with regards to the new product, I don't know if you have had your question answered concerning the fact that when you take the product, it's a capsule, the acid that's in the stomach, would it interrupt the
No,
product?
it's shielded. It's shielded from that. Shielded from.
Oh, you shielded from it. Okay. And MS, which product would you use?
Okay. Is it a relative of yours that have it?
Patient of mine.
What color is this patient?
Oh, black.
Well, black people are doing white people disease.
Oh my God.
Huh?
Doctor.
No, okay. So it's basically, so how are the joints right now? How are her joints?
It's not so severe. It's not as severe as it.
All right. So you're gonna need to do both. So you're gonna need to triple up on, quadruple up on the restore, and multiple times per day you're gonna need to do the joints and all of that.
So would it be just the restore only, or
No,
would
man, no. You're gonna need the rejuvenate for the joints.
Okay. So all three.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? Because of this water soluble thing, I am thinking, because you can get all 3 in one bundle. You can buy, you can
Right,
order one to it. Yeah. So, and it's for the same price. So I would go with all 3.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Great. Thank you, Man of Purpose. Thank you for asking the great question. We have something in the chat here. I see. Okay. What are some of the water soluble issues? And oh yeah, of course, it's okay to take all the products. Doctor, I'm taking your job, man. What is a new product when you provide for, Doc?
All right. So with these water soluble issues that we're looking at, A lot of them have to do with stuff. Okay, so remember now that if you look at the lipid bilayer of the cell, what happened is that in between the two layers of the cell, that is where you have the water. And so products are stuff that is hydrophobic, which means that they're afraid of water. They have to be transported across there in a different way than the stuff that is hydrophilic, which means that they love water. So what is happening now is that when you get the hydrophilic ingredients across the lipid bilayer, it will now also help to boost the mitochondria to really deal with the stuff that is water solid. And some of them actually cross, like the diabetes. They have both, because remember, what is the problem with diabetes with the insulin resistance and all of that. So basically, the insulin now was staying outside of the cell because it couldn't find a way to get in. Now, with this product being hydrophilic, it can now help to carry the insulin across the lipid bilayer into the cell.
Okay, Doc, I see some persons have their hands up, another question, but from on Sunday night, someone had a question to ask you. Was it Sunday night? Yes. In terms of leukemia and other types of cancer, but in particular leukemia, how does the product propose help for persons with leukemia? And also, if you can speak generally in terms of any other cancer-related condition.
All right. So what are cancers? No, cancer basically is erratic cells that's supposed to die, and then instead of dying, they fly under the radar, and by flying under the radar, they develop and become as tumors and all kind of stuff and like that, and so on. For example, with the prostate cancer, the breast cancer, all of these kind of stuff. But these cells have a lifespan, but they are outliving their lifespan. So one of the things is that when these cells are multiplying, that is why cancer persons, they lose so much weight and they're always tired, because these cells are basically just pulling all the good oxygen and all the good energy in order for them to do what they need to do. So now in general, how do we fix this cancer thing? For persons who don't have it yet, all of us have cancer genes in our body. And so the body now has different mechanisms in place to keep these cancer genes below a certain number. Now, if the mitochondria is right, if the mitochondria is working as it ought to be working, then the immune system now helps to kick in and to do, because there's a thing that is called tumor suppressor gene, P54, and so on and so forth. So these things sometimes, when the mitochondria is not working right and inflammation sets in and all these other stuff set in, then now they become powerful and they become and they rise to a level. And the thing about cancers that you also have to understand is that by the time you find out that you have the cancer, more often than not, it is already metastasized and gone somewhere else. Because
that's all.
Because the cancer now like to hide in places where it is not going to be manifested and it's time for it to be manifest. No, when you eat food, and it gets into your stomach and the carbohydrates now, they are supposed to turn into glucose. And when that happens, that glucose now is supposed to be taken into the cell. How does it get into the cell? The insulin now, the pancreas is supposed to produce some insulin, opens the door for the cell so that the glucose can get in and do what it's supposed to do. But guess what? When the pancreas produces the insulin and the glucose is running around in the blood, and the cells are not being open to accept the glucose, now you have excessive glucose in the blood. You have insulin running around in the blood, and all kind of other stuff that is not supposed to be there running around in the blood. Now, what are you looking at? You are looking at what we call dirty blood. And so this is where now you're going to start looking at these blood cancers as they start developing and so on and so forth. Remember, a lot of persons were not born with it. They actually came on later on in life. What brought them on, what brings them on, and what is causing them to get to that kind of level is because the mitochondria is in deficit, and the cells know that the mitochondria are supposed to take care of, to give them the energy to get rid of the free radical damage, to get rid of the oxidative stress, and to get rid of the inflammation, which is these guys are the culprits that are causing these things to get out of hand. And this is what is happening there. So in terms of the cancers, in terms of even having tumors that are not even supposed to be there, these are the culprits, the inflammation, the oxidative stress, and the mitochondrial damages. These are the guys that are really causing a myriad of the problems.
Well, thank you so much, Doc. I'll go over to your mother.
Thank you so much. I do apologize for that outburst a while ago. Okay. Now somebody had their hand. I think it was Ruby. Do you still want to speak, Ruby?
That was me, Leonard White, on the side of Dr. Campbell.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, pretty good. Good to
Okay.
see you. Yes.
Yeah, I'd asked Dr. Campbell with the research as it relates to chronic leukemia. Was one of my questions on Sunday. And I'm not sure is what Dr. Desmond just said. Is it for all related type cancers? What's
No,
his answer?
the part about the dirty blood was about it. That's for the leukemia. The blood is just clotty and dirty, and because remember now, when you have the leukemia, it's basically the blood cancer.
I see. Well, and one of the things I did ask him also, did he get testimonies as it relates to prostate cancer and
Oh, big time. We have so many testimonies about the prostate cancer. And so if we can talk, because when was it? Father's Day was in June. We did practically every presentation back in June, and we bring up a different aspect of what is the issue with prostate cancer back there and then. So if you have a specific thing that you need to know, or let me just talk for about 2 minutes in general to us men about the prostate health and the prostate cancer. Because one of the things is that once we hit 40, 45, what is going to happen is that the prostate, for some reason, tends to start getting enlarged. An enlarged prostate does not necessarily mean that you have prostate cancer. An enlarged prostate means that you're going to have problems with urination. And so that is what is there. Now, sometimes the prostate now, because it is enlarged, it is not in what we would call equilibrium. It can become, the cells now can become cancerous. So once it becomes cancerous, when we do the PSA test, when we do the DRI, the digital rectal examination, when we do that, what we want to feel is something that is extremely smooth. Like those of us from Jamaica, I think different countries call it by different names. Guinea. We want to feel something like a Guinea, nice and smooth when we feel it when it's enlarged. However, more often than not, what we're feeling is that it feels like when it's cancerous, it feels like a walnut. It feels very very groggy, like a walnut or something like that. So that is how we kind of know the difference between whether you have cancer or not. And so depending on where in the prostate the cancer is going to determine whether or not sometimes we do the surgery. Now, the problem with prostate cancer, or I said the good thing about prostate cancer, is that prostate cancer is one of the more curable cancer if it is caught early. It is one of the slowest growing cancer, but it needs to be caught early. And so that is what we need to, as men, we need to take the time out to get these PSA tests done. What is your PSA supposed to be for? No, if you go sometimes, I had a friend of mine in England, and I was so upset because he told me that his was 18, and the doctor was telling him, oh, it's nothing to worry about. If normal is 4, how under God's heaven you gonna tell the man that 18 is nothing to worry about? And that is why I don't like when black people go to white doctors. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So we have to, as men, be very cognizant. Now, if you're going to the bathroom to pee and you're able to stand here and hit the wall over there when you pee, and all of a sudden you're wetting up your shoes, you need to go get your prostate checked. And you know what? Forget about this macho foolishness about not wanting any man or anybody to put nothing up your finger. The thing lasts about 3 seconds. The poo that is coming out of your anus is bigger than the finger. So don't worry about it. Once the doctor gets you in the fetal position, it takes about 2 seconds and done. Well, if you're afraid that his finger might be too big, ask him to go find a young Indian doctor or a Chinese doctor or something. But that 3 seconds could save your life.
Yes.
So yes, we don't enter exit. Yes, we know that. It's for exit. But sometimes you just have to break the rule, go up there with the finger, do the 3 second swab, not even 3 seconds, 0.3 of a second, and it's done. So all I want to do, I want to feel, does this thing feel like a Guinness or does it feel like a wall? If it feel like a Guinness, then you're going to go do the PSA test. Then we're going to do a biopsy to confirm. And then not just for confirmation, now we are going to look for metastasis. Where it gone? And then, because we're doing the TMN, and then now we have to go see if it has gone to the lymph nodes in your groin and all of that. Because the number one way that prostate cancer kill you is that it metastasizes to the brains. All right, so we got to be careful.
Okay. Last question is that I'm in the Bahamas, Nassau, Bahamas, and I'm wondering if you have a representative who can to a larger group of people, because it may be difficult to get everybody on a Zoom meeting. But do you have someone who can come and explain this product to a large group of people?
Tell you what, get Dr. Clive's information because we
Okay.
do have a rep in the Bahamas. I guess he's been busy lately, Dr. Majors or Professor Major, but Dr. Clive is more deal with him like that. So yes, you could probably get in touch and you guys can put something together because he when this thing first came out, he went and did some crazy research on the mitochondria. So he would be an excellent source, and he's right there in the Bahamas. He's actually a professor.
Okay.
So
Great.
get
I'll
Dr.
get back.
Clive's information and yeah,
I'll
Okay.
get back to Dr. Campbell on that then.
Dr. Clive.
That's all right. Listen.
Thank you.
No problem.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay. So, anyone else that needs? Oh, Ruby again, Ruby. We're gonna try and get you in there, Ruby. Please.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Marva.
Hi, Jeremy.
And everyone. Okay, I have a question for Dr. Samuels, and I also have a concern. So I will go with the question first. My sister just got the products. She has been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's dementia, and I want to know exactly how to use the. Already understand the Mormito, the liquid, but how do I use the Rejuvenate to help her? Where do I put it exactly?
Okay, so I want you to do her spinal. I want you to do the center of her back from the neck right down. And we're gonna deal with the nerves, all the nerves you want to do right there. So I want you to massage the center of her back from right up the top of her neck. So the cervical, the lumbar, and all of them. I want all of those to get massaged multiple times per day. No, I also would like you to see. I want you to follow what we call the cribriform plate, because that is the bone that the brain sits in. So if you could follow that, if you could kind of, all right, so let me imagine and try to tell you exactly where it is. You see when you press right at the side of your head, the temple right there,
Yes.
you will feel a bone. You will feel like a bone right there from your eye all the way back to your ear. Right there is where the cribriform plate sits right there for the sides of your head. And then now you go above your ear. You go just above your ear right in the corner there and take it right to the back of the neck. And so yes, you want to massage it in there because we want to get this thing to the nerves. And so it can start helping the nerves now to rejuvenate. So you want to massage where the cribriform plate is, yes.
Okay. Awesome. I will do that. Okay, so my concern was I sent her, I mean, she went on she's been on this call before, but she also, she lives in America, and I sent her and a few other friends of mine on another call. And they called me today because they are concerned because I wasn't on the call, but they wanted to know um, if the person who did the call was showing how they take the restore, and he apparently put it in his mouth and swallowed it. And I'm here now trying to explain to them that they mustn't just swallow it. They are to take it sublingually under the tongue. And they're saying, but the guy put the 4 drops, like one behind the other, in his mouth and just swallowed, you know? And I'm like, well, Dr. Samuel says that the interaction between the stomach acids and, you know, the whole story. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue because now they're sounding like they would prefer to just swallow it. And
They do that, they're not gonna get the full efficacy. It's not that it's not going to work, but they won't get the full efficacy.
the efficacy will not
Yeah.
be there.
I think what happened in the case is because he did it last night also, Reggie Williams, and he did it because he's the one doing the presentation. He couldn't hold it in his mouth for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, because he would need to talk. So, but he just showed it to them how to put it under their tongue. But under normal circumstances, he would have to hold it. But because he's doing the presentation, he could not hold it under his tongue because he wouldn't be able to speak properly. So I can explain to them that it was just for presentation purpose only, but not for the right protocol.
Oh, okay. So it was Reggie. Okay.
Yes. Reggie
All
Williams.
right. All right. I will explain that to them. No, so those were my 2 questions. One was a question, what was the conversation? And I just want to say to everybody, I have a new testimonial. I had a problem with the back of my hands. I hated to look at them because at 69 they started to look like I was 100. The back of my hands, they were so, I hated to look at them. I stopped doing really nice manicures because I didn't want anybody to notice the back of my hands because they were so wrinkly. And I've just been using the Rejuvenate, and I mix it with a little of the, use it like a lotion. And guys,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have fresh hands.
Wow. Wow.
Just
Need
to
a
say,
diamond on my hand now.
tomorrow I have an appointment at 10 o'clock to get my manicure done. And I am so proud of my hands. So ladies, it's also
Wow,
working
girl.
on my neck. So I can't wait for that one. I'm gonna show you the before and after when I get them.
Great. Great.
Forward to that.
Right? So
And I love the way you
that's my
sound
story.
happy about that. That's
Yes,
nice.
sir. Okay, Martha. Thank you.
You're welcome. Joyette, you're up next, my dear. Joyette?
Good evening. Thank you. Good
You're
evening,
welcome.
everyone.
Good evening.
Dr. Desmond, I'd like to ask you a question, please.
Okay.
I asked a question. I just heard about the new product, the Renew, and I looked at the label. It says brain and body. So
Yeah.
I understand what you said about the water solubility of the Renew. You know, which you explained. I understand. You mentioned about the diabetes and the sugar and so forth, you know, getting into the cells, the glucose. So my question is this, you know, like how you explained about the Restore with the different diseases and illnesses, it helps. My question is, said brain and body. Okay, well, the body is holistic, so is the whole thing, right? So I'm wondering, what do you have besides it being water soluble? Are there any specific illnesses, diseases that this new product is geared towards?
Well, I know that right now it is geared to work synergistically with the rejuvenate and the renew and the restore. What I am waiting on now is to get to the ingredients and to get a better understanding of the mechanism of action. Just give us some
Okay.
time until they
Oh,
put out the information, then I will dissect it, study it, and then I present.
okay, sir, because I didn't know if I missed anything, you know. So
No, you
I said,
haven't.
let me find out specifically what it's for, and I understand now. Thank you. Thank you for the great presentation as always. Praise God. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you. Now I have somebody in the chat with a question. So let me just go in there. And it's regarding if we have testimonies about people with cancer. Or the problem with the cancer.
Well, what you can tell them to do is that sign up, get the free website,
Mhm.
and then they can go into the testimonials and they can see. But when we talk about persons with cancer, I like to talk about the lady that she did do the lumpectomy, where she went and took the lump out of her breast. But before she did the surgery, she had two pathologists letting her know that it was malignant, meaning it was cancerous. And after they took it out, they took about 3 weeks to take out the lump. And during that time, she was using the rejuvenate to massage this tumor. And when they sent it back to the pathologist after taking it out, it was cancer free. And then there was another gentleman now with colon cancer, and he was getting ready to do surgery, but for about 5 weeks before the surgery, he asked the radiologist to show him on his body, like exactly where in the colon the cancer was, which he did. And then secondly, when he take his shower, and even then he would even get what your ladies got, those not sanitary napkins, those wipes, the sanitary wipes. He would wipe his anus, and for four or five times a day, he would put the mixture, the combination of the restore, rejuvenate, and his anus. And so by the time he went back to go do the pre-surgery checkup, when they did the ultrasound and the CT scan, they did not see any tumor in his colon. Those are the two testimonies that stick out with me. But there's a lot more testimonies of cancer being beaten here.
Okay, great. And that's a lot. Those two. Great. Cynthia?
Yes, just another one. Please,
Okay.
thank you. How would this help? I think on one of your calls you mentioned something about children with autism or anything, any related things close to that.
Yes,
How would
Dr. Clive?
I'm sorry?
Sorry, let Dr. Clive, when he gave the explanation of the 7-year-old. Where is he?
Oh, okay. If you want to finish the question, let me see.
Oh, okay, okay. Right. So would it be all of the products that are helpful? And what about if the answer is yes, where would you use the restore? No. What's rejuvenate?
Well, again, just like the person who have the dementia or the Alzheimer's, it's the exact same because we're dealing with nerve issues and all. So we would use it around the head and around the neck and the side of the head and all around. Yeah, get it at the cribriform plate, and we'll also want you to put it at down the middle of the spine.
And also,
You said the middle of the spine.
Yeah, the middle of the back, right down the spine. So you go from the back of the neck all the way down to his down to his bum.
Oh, okay. And at
You
the for
massage
the
it
head.
multiple times per day. This is how you do the head as well.
Okay.
Yeah, what
Thank
I
you.
do that because they've always been concerned with whether or not autistic children will be able to comply in terms of holding the product under their tongue for any extended period. So we could still try, but what you're thinking that with the renew, because it's in powder form, that it could always be added. It could open the capsules, add it to the food, and therefore it's an additional way to help the child to get benefit from the tremendous ingredients as are in the 3 products. So that's another suggestion.
Okay. What about the dosage though? What I mean for a child
Yeah,
as against an adult.
yeah.
But if
Some
you're
of us-
giving the adult 2 capsules per day, you give the child 1.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank
Most
you. Good evening. Okay. Man of purpose.
Yes. Quick analysis. I saw where there was a person, I don't know which group was it, that give out a testimony that the person was actually a lady, matter of fact, was 57 years old, and after taking the product Restore for several weeks, they started menstruating again. What can you say to that, Dr. Campbell and Will and Dr. Samuel?
somewhere else first.
So what has happened there and then, what you can actually surmise from that is that there were some eggs that were stuck in meiosis that never did what they were supposed to do. They never come out. They never gotten rid of. They never no ovulation took place, and they were stuck somewhere there. And so what this product did is that it got back, and they're not gonna see period for a long time. Just whatever eggs were left there are now just gonna be flushed through the system and get them back. So based on the body being out of equilibrium and out of balance, those eggs kind of got stuck there and they were not flushed. They were no ovulation. So now it is getting the body back into equilibrium. Ovulation has now just restarted just to get rid of whatever.
Okay.
It's not like they form new eggs. Because
Okay.
when a female is born, as soon as she comes out the womb, all of the eggs that she's going to ovulate, they are there, right there and then, instantaneous. And that is why in genetics sometimes they tell us that all of your siblings are the same age genetically, because
Yeah.
the same day the mother was born, all of them were right there and then.
400,000 of them. Sir.
Interesting.
A question was asked. So what if this process didn't happen for them to shed? What would happen to them?
Well, the eggs could either just stay there and just they just go into what we call apoptosis, and they just die there. Hopefully they don't go into necrosis, but apoptosis, and then they just die.
And they wouldn't be able to get pregnant again?
Hey.
No, normal. Because remember that remember that they have to, in order for her to get pregnant, they must leave the ovaries, they have to get into the fallopian tube, and then they have to come around and meet up with a sperm. So they were not even trying to get back into the fallopian tube. They were not even trying to do that. Then just say, listen, I'm parked right here, I'm staying right here, and I'm not going.
Praise the Lord. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. You know, that happened to me when I was 61 years old. And my doctor told me, I guess he was pulling my legs. He told me that I can get pregnant. I say, yeah, Mary already had those arguments already about that stuff. So,
This is a very important question that the gentleman asked.
yeah,
And I can
it
tell why
is.
that's an important question, because when we're in the hospital, when a female comes to us and we're taking their history, one of the questions we asked him is, LMP, when was your last menstrual period? And if she goes ahead and tell me that her last menstrual period was 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden she's bleeding again, what do you think the first thing that's gonna come to mind? Ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, some kind of cancer. Because what menopause basically is defined as when you stop seeing your period for 12 months. So if a person comes to me, any female comes to us in the hospital, any female at all, and over a certain age, like over 50, 53 or so on, and they tell us that the last menstrual period was 2 to 3 years ago and they start bleeding again, the number one thing on our mind is that this is a cancer until otherwise proven. And so now we're going to do all of the workups and all of the tests to rule it out and to confirm that this is a real period other than just being or other than cancer. So yeah, so once you haven't seen your period for 1 year, 12 months, and then it come back, our first inclination as clinicians is that this is cancer.
So that was my first analogy of the situation. If the period come back, then it has to be some form of cancer, you know,
Right.
or some, you know, thing happening there that is not normal, you know,
Mhm.
for the person with that age.
Exactly. So once the bleeding starts, it's cancer until proven otherwise. Could be endometriosis, could be ovarian, could be uterine, could be, yeah, all of that kinds.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mrs. Cox, you're up next, darling. If you're speaking, we're not hearing you, but I see your mic is open.
Okay, you might have to move on until she's able to open her mic a few times.
Second here. Yeah, her mic was just open. Just close it back. Okay, so let's go to Cynthia.
Okay, just a quick question.
Oh, there she is now. She's there.
Oh, you want me to go ahead?
No, she's not speaking, so I'm not
Oh,
sure what's
okay.
going on.
Okay,
Go
a
ahead.
quick one.
Okay.
Tonight's presentation has been a real good one, and I want to ask you, is it possible to get a recording plus, which would include also the question and answer? Is that
Yes,
a possibility?
it is a possibility. All the recordings, we try to get them out ASAP. Our engineer, Mr. Mondo, 1000, he will do his best to get it out ASAP.
Oh, okay. How would I get it? Who would I? I'm not sure how I would get it.
Are
though.
you part of NUS? So you've been signed up and stuff already?
Yes.
Okay.
This would my second month on it.
Okay. So what you could do is get your upline to put you into in our chat, and it comes up in there.
Okay,
Experience in a new review.
She's to put me in the
WhatsApp chat
chat.
group.
WhatsApp. Experience in a new you. That's the name of it.
Experience in a new you.
Yes.
Okay. And the recording will be in it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And that
You're
would be, you
welcome.
say, as soon as possible. All right.
Okay. Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Wilton, you're up next, sir.
Hello, my more mighty family. Good evening, Dr.
Hi.
Campbell, Dr. Desmond, and Lady Marva.
Good evening.
I just want to add to what Dr. Samuel was saying. Last year this time, I was dealing with I had 5 sisters, and unfortunately one passed. And it was last year this same time we were dealing with the ovarian cancer. We like very close, and she said she's bleeding, and I tell her go to the doctor and check it out. And she said, no, it might pass few days. I said, no, sis, go check it out. At your age at 62, and you weren't menstruating, you need to go check it out. And she went in and she checked it out, and they said they have to what they observed that she have to do surgery. And she went in for the surgery, and they have to close her back up because it was so well spread. So I'm kind of backing up what Dr. Samuel said when he said, if you're bleeding, say it's cancer until otherwise. And so unfortunately, she passed in September, and we funeralized her. And even to this date, it still hurts. But it is so important that when in doubt, you go check it out. Because sometimes you sit back and you're like analyzing, maybe few days it might go by, and few days could have been helped. But hers was so bad, it was just, and every time last year this time I didn't know about Mormito. Had I known about Mormito, possibly she would be here still, maybe having her cancer, but she could get a few more days. But didn't know about it. I just knew about it in maybe June, say May, late May of this year. So I just want to back up. The doctor is saying that it's when you see those cases, it's like you have to just stop what you're doing and just go check it out, because that's what I want to share.
That's a warning sign. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I know it hurts, but thank you so much for being brave enough to share with us. Thank you.
Yeah, not only that, I appreciate you chiming in and saying what you just said. But folks, when you feel discomfort, you know your body better than even the doctor. When something feel out of place, stop watching it. It's not a TV show. It's not a movie. Oh, I'm gonna watch it and see. No, it's not Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives. What the other one the name? General Hospital. No, generic. No, it's not. Stop watching it. Pain is like your light on your dashboard on your car. Pain is telling you something is going that needs to be fixed. That is what pain is. So don't bother with this foolishness about, oh man, I'm having a headache here, but never just watch it. This is happening. Oh, I pee and some blood came, but never just watch it. No. Get up off your blessed assurance, find your way to your doctor, get it checked out. Because when things are caught early, your chances of survival are way, way, way higher. If we catch the tumor in the prostate when it's the size of a rice, your prognosis is greater than if we catch it at the size of a corn grain. So just remember that. So just sitting down and watching it. Listen, once you pass 50 and then age there, we're on the other side of the fence. So what we're doing now, we're thankful for Mormito, that is kind of helping persons and reversing some stuff. But before Mormito, think about it like that. Stop watching pain. Stop watching discomfort. It's not a TV show. Go and get it checked out. Let the expert watch it for you and fix it if necessary. It's best to go and find out, say, okay, fine, it was a false alarm, nothing really got a thing. And then for our females, once you guys, especially those who are not sexually active, I need you to start practicing the Kegel exercise. Because one of these days you might just sneeze and your entire vagina and uterus just drop out right between your legs because those muscles get weak. How do you practice the Kegel exercise? Now, imagine when you go to the bathroom, peeing, and you kind of use your muscles to stop the pee. That is the actual Kegel exercise. So what you're meant to, men needs to do it too, because it helps with your bladder function and all of that. So you need to do that a few times per day. You do it when you're driving, you do it when you're sitting at your desk, and you just keep doing it for about 15, 20 minutes per day. Get those muscles strengthened. The detrusor muscle, that is the one that goes around the bladder. That one also needs to be exercised, and the Kegel exercise helps to strengthen it. You're going out as ladies and all of that stuff, and sometimes you're sitting down in your nice clothes, and all of a sudden you make a big laugh because somebody crack a joke, and you need to get up and you can't move because you pee yourself, or you have to be wearing panty liners everywhere you're going. Exercise the muscles, man. Get them strong, because next thing you know, if they are not strong, next thing you know, you're gonna have to be walking around with a ring pessary because your vagina just drop right out.
Oh my God.
Yes, we have seen that, and it's happening a lot. A lot of people just walking around in their nice flaring skirt and all of that. Them have something just tie up their uterus right and their legs, because some of them can't even afford to get the pessary to put it back in. So get the kids, start doing it, start exercising while you're taking the more mito, which is now gonna come and start helping them to strengthen those pelvic muscles. Because when the muscles they get weak and drop out, I mean, like I said, especially and then for ladies who you may not be sexually active now, but you have had multiple births, that is also another reason why you need to do it. You have 4, 5, 6 children, and things not go on in that department for whatever reason. You need now to start practicing to ensure that the pelvic muscles are strong. All right.
Okay. So doctor, for the women who are not sexually active, if they get sexually active, they be good.
No,
I'm asking for a friend.
A friend of a friend. No, it depends on the kind of sex that they're having. So
What do you mean?
So now, if you're just having slam bam thank your mom sex, then you're not good. So the kind of sex now that you're having is where you are now gonna just, instead of just being there and enjoying it, you're gonna use the muscles. Oh God. She's gonna let my mom roll in the grave. You're gonna now use the muscles of your vagina to squeeze his penis and hold on it. That is also a way now of really tightening those muscles and strengthening them. And for the men, when your woman does that to you, man, it drives you crazy. I have another question for you.
Okay, so wink, 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 wink. I'm not saying anything.
All right, Marva, put on detox wellness and calm down now, please.
Detox wellness.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm a chiropractic therapist, and I would like to find out, persons suffering from degenerative disc disease,
L4, L5,
L4, whether C4, C1, C2 down to 4, or lumbar, 3 to 4, S1, sacrum 1. I'm using both the cream and the restore. Will that work for them?
Listen, man, I am glad you asked that question, because when we first started, we were hearing of some persons who have degenerative disc, and those guys went aggressive with it. And after a while, they went back to the doctors. That's why we talk about it going into tendons, into ligaments, into the joints. Yes, it actually does work. And if you go on the line, you will, and there you'll see testimonials about that as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Great. Thank you so much. Doctor, it's amazing. I wish more people would come on and hear these things. You know, it's
but
so
let me answer
amazing.
this one question before you go.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what we want you to do with the ED business now is that, how long have you had? Now, are you hypertensive? Because if the person have hypertension and they are taking beta blockers as part of their medication regime, it is going to be a problem, even by taking our technology. So what are beta blockers? I'd like you to look at your medication if you're hypertensive and if they end with OLOL. Now, there's a couple of them that are not bad, like metoprolol and labetalol are not bad. But if your doctor has given you propranolol, he needs to get you off it like yesterday, because one of the major side effects of propranolol is erectile dysfunction. All right. So some medications, especially for high blood pressure, does cause erectile dysfunction. Some of the other medications that are prone for causing erectile dysfunction is some of the antipsychotic medications like the haloperidol, the quetiapine, the sertraline, and all of those ones. We call them SSRIs. That is one of their side effects as well. But so if you are taking medication, whether it be antidepressant or antipsychotic, you need to have the conversation with your doctor. You need to let them know that, listen, I still have a partner in my life and I still think I have some life left in me. So you need to give me something that is not going to cause any kind of adverse effect sexual. So that is what you want. You need to have that conversation, because some doctors, they will just write you a prescription and said, okay, next. No, don't let no doctors treat you like that. You're not going there for free. Even if you're not the one paying them, somebody paying them on your behalf. All right. So if that is the case, then we need to get the medication changed. Give yourself some time, 3 to 4 weeks, and then see if things start happening all over again. Now, one of the things that you also have to try to find out is if the erectile dysfunction is a mental thing, if it's just something between your ears. So what you want to do is, when you wake up in the morning, are you having an erection? If you wake up in the morning and you have an erection, it means it's not really erectile dysfunction you're dealing with, but what you're actually dealing with is a psychological problems that you need maybe to talk to somebody, a sex therapist or somebody that can probably teach you a few techniques and how to relax and what you need to do in order to get it going. Other thing that you cannot have in your mind is anxiety. Anxiety is a killer for that. No, if we go through all of that, no early morning erection, and you realize that it's a physical problem. Now we want you to you need to double up, triple up on the restore, and then you also now need to start massaging the perineum with the rejuvenate. You're gonna massage the penis, the gland itself, with the rejuvenate, and you're not gonna expect to see results over a 2 to 3 week period, but you're gonna start see it happening over time. Have a gentleman who came and he was taking it for one thing. He was taking it for something else, because he haven't had sex with his wife for like over a year, because he thought he was done. He never think that anything else was gonna happen to him again. But then he was on the product for about 2 to 3 months, and he was on it. He had diabetes, he had high blood pressure, he had other issues that he was dealing with, but nothing was happening. So then he started taking it 2 milliliters every 2 hours. That's what he started doing. And then, he realized that, hey, my cravings for this whole sugary drink is gone. My craving for water, want to drink a lot of water, that is gone. His craving for food, because he was just eating like a farmer horse, even that is gone. So he was like, something is happening. Things were beginning to change. And then one night he went to bed and he spooned his wife. What I mean by spoon is that he hugged her from behind. And then when he was just there casually, not even thinking about it, he found out, hey, something is rising. Wife also recognized it, and she's like, I haven't had this in a while. Let's make use of it. Did their thing, lasted about, everything lasted about less than 10 minutes, but hey, he was at least happy that something took place. Anyway, in the morning, like in the wee hours of the morning, the 5 hour-ish, he felt it again. And they had a good session, maybe a good 25 minutes to half an hour. And wife is smiling again, he's smiling again.
Man,
The depression is gone, because not being able to make love to his wife was causing him no less amount of depression. So now the depression is gone. The man feel like a man again. Because I'm telling you, if a man cannot handle his business at home like that, he's not gonna feel whole. And
Yeah.
so all of a sudden things are coming back and gone together. So yeah, so you're gonna double up, triple up on this thing, and you are also going to ensure that the perineum gets taken care of. So from the anus right to the testicles, you're gonna massage it in there multiple times per day. And then now, if you find out that you're having an erection and things are happening again, and maybe wife is on her period, maybe nobody was home, you decide you're gonna masturbate or something like that, please do not rush it if you're masturbating, because if you rush it, no, you are training your body, your mind, and your penis to tell you that we need to get this thing done quickly. And so there's a thing called muscle memory, and if you do that, then you'll start being a 2-minute man again. So if you're gonna do that, then you still have to kind of make sure so it stretch out over time so that you're not rushing it and training your body into bad habits and bad behavior.
Okay, wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. So what about the ladies who needs an erection too?
It wasn't me. It wasn't my voice.
I have not seen that one in the textbook.
Bye.
I
I
had a
re-
lot of fun tonight. This call is something else.
Get more than you bargained for.
My goodness. This is a wealth of
So,
information. I tell you
I guess
that.
we're talking about libido for the women, no?
Yes, so okay. So with the females now, when it comes to their libido issue, see, a woman is turned on by what she hears. A man is turned on by what he sees. So sometimes why the women go cold, the men, us, are about 50% supposed to be blamed for it. But on the other sense also, she needs to ensure that he looks forward to coming home. So when you walk into your house as a man, you don't want to see Aunt Jemima. Now I'm big long nighty, piece of messy stuff tie up on her hair. Remember, he's probably just leaving the office where the secretary was showing him all kind of cleavage, and he's seen all kind of breast, leg, and thigh, and then he come home to you just. No, so you want to ensure that you're still keeping it spicy in spite of. Now, how does the Restore Rejuvenate help the female? Now, what I'd like you to do first and foremost is to ensure that there's no allergy to it. So, because what you see as the what you see as the clitoris is not even a big part of it that is actually on the back end. What's on the outside is just a little piece. So you want to try to massage with the Rejuvenate the labia, and then sometimes you want to do it also on the clitoris. And so now what that is going to do while you're doing the Restore as well. So what that is going to do is that those dead mitochondria that are sitting down there that weren't doing anything, they now are going to get re-energized again and start producing the necessary hormones that needs to be produced. But no, make sure that you have somebody that is willing and able in order to start taking care of business when stuff starts getting
Mighty
back
God.
together. Because if you're gonna start doing that, now you gotta make sure that yes. Because I know that when women, especially those who hit menopause, when they get there, the thing, the skin is gonna get thin. Why? Because of all of the mitochondrial deficit. Now we're gonna build them back up and get them to the point where they're supposed to be. So once you do that, then all of a sudden you're gonna find out the juices are flowing again. And then also for the females, just like you do it now for just like we do it now for the persons with the Alzheimer's and those kind of stuff. because remember the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland and all of those, because you guys are so glandular in terms of hormonal systems, then we also want now the hormones to start getting stimulated again and the juices start flowing. And so then the anterior pituitary gland is gonna be sending message to the hypothalamus, and then it's gonna send it to the ovaries and so on and so forth. So we want to get the whole body back into equilibrium. And so once that happens, then no, and then you can add the rest.
So y'all know what that means. We got to stock up.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
But
Well, you
them
know,
don't know.
I order every 2 weeks, eh? I order my stuff every 2 weeks. So I am raising my hand for it's a legitimate question, Doc, and I'm going to take you off of the sex ride. Now, I checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure has not been high. They gave me medication and stuff. I didn't take the medication when I checked my blood pressure. It came up as 113/80. And I said,
Okay.
no, I'm not a teenager. I'll do it again. It came to 119/81.
Mhm.
And so I didn't take my medication. So my friend asked me about it and said, why didn't you take your medication? I said, I don't want my blood pressure going too low. She says, you know, you still need to, because once you've had a meal, it's gonna go back up. So I didn't agree with her that I needed to take it. And she kind of tell me off. You don't
Mhm.
like to hear truth and all that stuff. Should I have taken my medication at that point?
No, because if it dropped too low, that can be a problem.
Thank
So
you.
what you should have, so when you eat your meal, like she was telling, instead of go back up, you give yourself a good half an hour after you eat your meal, and then you can check the pressure of it,
Okay.
or even an
It's-
hour.
yeah.
Because when you eat, we're not kind of worried about blood pressure when you eat. We're more worried about blood sugar spiking when you eat.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. I just want to know, because when my blood sugar, my blood pressure goes to 5.1, I'm shaking like leaf, right? So I was scared about um taking medication for high blood pressure when my blood pressure is showing 113/80.
No, 113, you don't want it to, no, you don't want it to drop too much below 113.
Okay.
Because we're looking for
A matter of fact, it
120.
did,
We're
it
looking for
did the other
120
day.
to make you.
When I was in the hospital last week,
Mm-hmm.
it went down to 101. And I'm
Okay.
telling them, don't medicate me for these things. I want to know what everything is, because if my blood pressure gets too low, that means I'm dying. That's what
Yeah,
I think.
you're gonna be shaking and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
I see
asking.
that Joyette is up.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment that my my friend who is also a referring customer now, she texted me saying this is an outrageous, outstanding call, which I unanimously applaud. I also have to say that this call is amazing. And I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. Samuels, for your patience and your love. It encompasses love for us, for humanity, for others that you treat as a doctor, to give us such awesome information, to explain
Man.
to us with such patience, with such clarity, with such, awesomeness. Praise the Lord. God has provided you for us. And we
Amen.
thank you. All of us thank you. I'm speaking on behalf of all of us. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for what you are doing. You're doing for us and everyone involved in this call, everyone. And I just want to say that Oliver Samuels, you beat Oliver Samuels, Dr. Samuels.
And quite a few persons are endorsing what Joyet is saying. They appreciate the presentation. If they some use the word excellent, they say
Mhm.
And some people say,
Awesome.
glory, good information. Sound like church.
Hallelujah.
And
Amen.
Mr. Townsend, I just want to say how much we appreciate you. Of course, I've always appreciated you, sir. I've always told you in the previous text many times how much I appreciate you. Even privately, I've texted you that. So I just want to say that again. Thank you so much for the recordings. And this recording is one of the they're all amazing, but this one here with all the Q&A, the whole thing would be greatly appreciated, sir. Thank you and God bless.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Joyette. Is that Clinton or Linton? Okay, Linton, go ahead.
Right. Good night.
Good night.
Dr. Samuels, you outdo yourself tonight. We're going to call you professor as of now. But I've been listening to you talking, and reflecting on what the guy said. That is Roger and the others who put this thing together and said the reason why it is done and how, and the fact that they're not focusing on any issue, medical issue, as we have them, but working on restoring the mitochondria and by extension the cells, and by extension tissues, and by extension organs, and by extension the entire body. I am here wondering if we in the process of creating some Abrams and Sarah. But anyway, on the other side of it, though, the serious side of it, though, is that if we really and diligently and deliberately use these products, we're going to turn back the hand of time where our bodies are concerned. And so I don't know what you can suggest as we use these products, some things we need to be doing along the way. I know we need to be drinking a lot of water. Based on my experience, 57 years old, take it upon myself that I'm going to start an exercise program 2 weeks ago. And the kind of recovery that I'm seeing, like today, the coach drill with an hour and a half, drill with hard, drill with very hard. Normally, under normal conditions, I would walk for a half an hour and my muscles would pain me galore. Yeah. We went hard this evening for about an hour and a half, and I'm home now and I could go for another hour and a half of intense exercise. It's saying to me that the recovery that is taking place in my system is beyond what is normal. And yes, we're going to have to find some of these athletes around the place that giving less than mediocre performance right now, because this thing can do wonders. I'm also finding out that my sugar craving is almost at zero. And not only that, I'm deliberately trying to eat clean and don't eat too late. And I think that is adding to my success stories, which somewhere you will hear about at a later date when I document them. But you can talk to us some more about that, because
right. So before I start talking,
let me just finish the point. We need good proteins, and you need to help us to guide us on that. I think we need to look at what we do in terms of vitamins and minerals and such the like. Because another thing that Roger and them guys say is that with you using these products, we're going to find that instead of needing 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, we probably only need 500, and et cetera, which means that we can, I'm seeing it already, I'm saving on my food bill, because the amount of, this is an international audience, the amount that I normally eat, I was going to say yeah, but since me in an international space, the amount what I normally eat has significantly reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I say, I eating cleaner. So tell me how that combined with the more mitodoc can help us to see the days of Elijah and those 120-year-old Moses, etc.
All right. So my question for you is, how often do you take the restore for the day?
No, I'm running low because I don't get my new supply yet. But every time I walk past it, I take some. So I don't take 4 meals a day as is recommended. I am taking there's one major issue that I want to correct, right? And so I know right now I'm taking probably 6 or 8 meals a day. And I heard a lady talking earlier about her hand looking like youthfulness again. It's not you one. Me now have 57-year-old hand back again. It going back down to 35 heading down. So it's not you one.
The reason I ask you how often you're taking it per day is that I mentioned it in the presentation as well, that I believe folks need to start, especially in the interim, start double up, triple up, quadruple, because these mitochondria that we have been taking so much medication over the years. We take a medication for headache, we take a medication for toothache, we take a medication for toothache, we take a medication for whatever chronic diseases we have. Lots of these medications, they have mitochondrial killing properties in them. And so some of them are actually killing the mitochondria. So persons know, I am encouraging folks to say, I know not everybody have it. I know it is difficult sometimes to really do certain things, but re-budget yourself, recalculate, look and see what you can start, cut out or whatever, so that you may be able to get the money, so you can actually maybe get a second bottle of the restore, and then kind of double up and triple up and be deliberate and intentional about fixing these problems. And what you're gonna start finding out that is gonna start happening like that, like Rev Snowball just said, is that the cravings for the sugar is gonna start diminishing. The amount of water, the thirstiness is gonna start diminishing. Persons who were looking for the you just finished peeing now and you're not even finished putting back your penis in your pants or whatever, you start thinking about when I'm gonna need to pee next. You're gonna find out that, hey, I probably used to take a plane ride and we used to have to go pee 3 times in a 4-hour flight. All of a sudden, me take a flight and I have to pee one more time again because things are beginning to get fixed up on the inside. Now, to add to this, what is going to start happening now is we're going to start eating right. I'm not telling anybody not to eat meat because I believe that we need to eat some meat for the clotting factors, so that just in case we have internal cuts, we don't bleed out. But we need to start eating more from the ground. No problem with going into the supermarket and buying all that ground provision that comes from overseas. You don't know what kind of soil these things are grown in.
Yes.
I believe you need to start buying local. I just got a report the other day from the US that a lot of the farms over there have lost 85% of the nutrients in the ground because these people, when they are planting, they just plant pesticide, plant pesticide. So over the years, they didn't even take that 1 year to give the ground its time so that it can replenish and recover either. And so now we have to also now start looking at how we get the foods that we eat. And so we need to start eating right. We need to start having balanced diets. And so once you start balancing your diet, that's going to work out well for you. 30 minutes exercise. Now, when I talk about walking for 30, I'm not just talking about getting up and walking up there, so for 15 minutes, turn around and walk back for another 15 minutes. Now, if you're gonna walk on the road and you can use the light posts that they run the electrical wire on, you can use that as your marker. And so you're gonna walk between post A and post B, and then you're gonna run. You don't have to run hard. You're gonna run between post B and post C. And then you walk between post C and post D, then you run. So you're alternating. What you're trying to do is to get the heart rate up to about 150 at least twice per day. So you instead of, because the normal heartbeat is between 60 and 100. So what you want to do is to get it up to 150 at least twice per day. And so these are the kind of things, you know, that we're going to have to start incorporating into your more MITO regime. And then now this is going to also start getting you much, much better result. When you look at the ingredients in the more MITO, you might recognize that you need to add a little something here and there. You might need to get some magnesium, because I don't know if there's any magnesium in it. I didn't see that. So you might need to start getting a good, potent magnesium supplement, because that is now also going to help to build the muscles. A lot of folks, doctors and stuff, were saying that once you start losing muscle mass, you can't get it back again. No go so. Now we're finding out that when you build the mitochondria, it now helps to build back your muscle mass. All right. So that is what we want to do this thing holistically, and we want to do it properly so that we can now start experiencing the renewed, rejuvenated, and restored life in terms of what is happening in our life. So we are like my dad. My dad died about 12 years ago. He was 86 when he died. When my dad died at 86, he had a 21-year-old son.
Bad man.
And so I noticed certain things around him that led me to believe that yes, even though he was 86, he was still sexually active. And I'm saying this to say that, and then if we look back even in our districts where we're from, and we look at some of those older men, they did not have the whole heap of pain and discomfort and stuff that we have. Why? Because they eat right. But guess what they didn't have? They did not have more MITO. So if we start eating right and apply the more MITO, like Dr. Snowball just said, we may not have the serum because the eggs then finish, but we have a whole, we can be looking at some Abrahamic thing going on. So folks, exercise, diet, and for those of you who are in relationship, reach for your mate and not your plate. Don't be there all of that. Just get with it. Live. He came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Back to you, Dr. Snowball.
Okay, so Doc, what I was
Yes, sir.
wondering, you have said quite a mouthful, but could we promise to our folks to do some more on this on Friday for Friday's presentation, so they may come with their pens and papers or questions? Because
I would say that. I would say for folks to get your questions. And sometimes we're gonna come on here and we don't have to do a presentation. We can just have a health fair. We can just have a health fair. Just come with your questions, come with whatever it is that you have. Whatever I don't have the answer for, I write it down and come back to you on it. But we're building a community, and let's just build it, Dr. Clive. I really like that suggestion, and so on and so forth.
It's a great suggestion. But Dr. Samuels, can I tell you something? The majority of people come on our calls, they want to hear you talk. You want to hear you say something. Honestly, they do.
we have been hungry for so long.
Yeah.
We said the banquet before us, we're just gobbling it down.
Yeah, because people are going to their doctors and not blaming doctors, not shaming doctors. Because when you look out in the waiting room, Dr. Price is one of the best pediatrician I know. He's in Maypen. And I went there to his office one day. And I tell you, the waiting room was full. The car park was full. And people were waiting to come in and see him. It's crazy. So when your doctor don't have the time to do what we are doing here, it's not because they wouldn't like to, but sometimes they just don't have the time. Dr. Price is there with another two pediatrician specialists. These are teaching doctors. And sometimes it's 10, 11 o'clock at night before them see the last patient and have to drive back to Kingston.
Wow. Wow. So can we just have just the last comment or question from Wilton? We cannot go any longer than that. We're way over now. So Wilton, I don't want to restrict you, but can you be short, or if not, come back on Friday?
My comment is very simple.
Great.
I've heard the accolades for Dr. Samuels. Can everyone here, because earlier I checked the count and it was 54. We need to give him a bigger audience. We need to go to work.
Amen.
We need to go to work and double up. If everyone could double up, then it worth the doctor time. I'm not saying it doesn't right now, but it would have been looking more pleasable. So let's go to work. Bring a friend. Tell a friend. I know on Friday nights I don't go because it's my Sabbath. But I really
sorry about that.
religiously hear the 2 other days. But we need to give the doctor a bigger platform because we want more people to bring more people to bring more people. Because each one, reach one, teach one.
Amen. And you know what,
Right.
so Wilton, what happens when we start inviting more people to come on, you don't spend as much money buying your products. You can buy what you need. Because I tell you the truth, I only put money to my pocket once, and that's the first time to buy products. And I'm able to buy products every 2 weeks.
Oh, me
You
too.
know?
I get product every day.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? We can invite people, folks.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Dr.
This is
Campbell.
where, all right, thanks.
Yeah, sorry. Dr. Campbell. And I just want to note, Mondo, it's all of us tonight. It's not just Dr. Campbell. We all contribute to the extra time. So please take it easy with them. Go ahead, please, Dr. Campbell. Something big for you.
You're great. Thank you so much. You're kind. As May Cox had said earlier on, she wanted to tell us about her 6-year-old grandson who was stung by a wasp Friday and how she used Rejuvenate to deal with that. So God be praised for that situation. Thank you for sharing. Yes, thank you so much, Doc. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, everyone, for coming in from here and overseas in the Caribbean and over other countries. Together, we are strong. But we're talking about the Million Man More Mito movement. So we have to move faster and more deliberately and intentionally, as Doc would say, so we can get the word out. So let us not keep this information to ourselves. Many people are trying, many people have invited. It's difficult to get people to come to the call sometimes, and we understand, but keep on inviting more. So if you invited 5, keep on inviting 10, then 20, and you'll get the desired 8 or 9 to come on each call. Well, we thank you. We thank every single one for the questions you have asked, for the comments you have made, for the testimonies you have shared, and for just being here. It's heartwarming. Thank you, Lady Marvel, for conducting this question and answer section. And we thank you all for the part that you play. And we will continue to pray for each other and just be grateful to the Lord. And just thank God that Dr. Samuels won't send us a bill for this additional information that he has shared with us. Because sometimes we can go to doctor for 40 years and don't get half of what doctor tell us tonight. But so, Doc, we really thank you. Appreciate you. It's a labor of love, but God is the one that's going to bless you. Good measure.
Amen.
Good
Amen.
measure. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over, sir. Bless you. Bless you. Bless everyone. So we close. Father, thank you. Your goodness keeps running after us. You have blessed us more than we deserve. Thank you for more mitre. Thank you for what it proposes. And thank you for many who have already been blessed. And for many that are waiting. Help us, Lord, to go with a sense of urgency to say thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. total
Amen.
blessing for everybody on this call. In the name of Jesus. Good night,
And
all. Love you.
yes,
Mwah.
if you want, you can open the microphone and just tell Dr. Samuels, big up. Thank you for excellent presentation. For those of us, yeah. Tell the doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels. Thank you, everyone.
It's my
You're welcome,
pleasure.
Doctor.
It's my
Thank you,
pleasure to
Dr.
serve.
Samuels. Thank you, everyone. God
Thank
bless.
You're
you.
welcome. God bless you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Yeah. Thanks. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good
Wando,
night.
this
Thank you.
last
Good
part
night.
belongs to Dr. Clive.
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone.
Take care now. Blessing.
Thank you.
Good
Good night, everyone.
Friday night
Good
now.
night.
Oh, on tomorrow night, there's a meeting with the president for those of
Oh,
us who come on. So
okay.
we can ask him any outstanding matters as it relates to any outstanding order, any discrepancies, any issues you think anybody in your group may be facing. Please come and represent. 7:30 Jamaica time. The link is the last one we use, but when we get it again, we'll forward it in the chat room. Thank you. Late
Okay.
in time.
Thank you. And for back orders, please have the username and order number to actually give it to Dale. Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.